I take the same route into the city every day. I don't live too far, around 30 years old, so it's just a few minutes drive in a quiet suburb. The road I take at night is always very quiet, which is a relief compared to the daytime traffic. Driving on this road, everything is as usual. It was just past 10 at night. I was listening to music. Happy to be almost home. At this point, I was 10 minutes away from the woods, just before the suburbs began. A light shone from the road. At first, there was nothing. But as it got closer, it seemed really bright, almost blinding. I had to focus on the road to make sure I stayed in my lane. But just when I thought they were going to pass me, I suddenly caught a glimpse of their wheels. The tire was right on my driveway. They took the wrong road and almost collided with me. My instincts kicked in. I turned right, immediately dashed off the road, and fell into the ditch by the woods. It took me a few seconds to come to my senses, but I didn't seem to be seriously hurt. I unbuckled my seatbelt and jumped out of the car. It was definitely totaled. The entire front was almost torn off. Honestly, it looked like I should have died inside. Then I remembered what happened and got angry. I crawled out of the ditch and looked towards the road, expecting to see their headlights fading into the distance, but to my surprise, they had stopped not far away. Before approaching them, I quickly glanced around and realized how isolated we were. So before facing them, I ran back to my car and grabbed my phone to call the police. I don't know who is in that car above, nor if they are drunk or angry, so I think it's better to be cautious. The operator said they would arrive in 5 minutes, so I hung up and started walking towards the ditch. But I was startled by someone standing at the edge of the ditch. He didn't ask if I was okay, nor did he say anything. "Did you make me break down? You might kill me," I said to try to control my anger until the police arrived. He still didn't speak, but the lights on the road suddenly got brighter, shining towards where he was standing. I was still in the ditch, but I could see that it was the same car being driven by another person. They kept backing up to the edge of the ditch, and then the driver's door opened, and another person got out, and the two started talking in different languages. I think it was Russian or German. I'm not good with languages, but they sounded very aggressive when they spoke. One person rushed to the back of the car. He opened the trunk behind him, but he didn't take anything. Instead, he turned around to face me, and the two of them immediately ran towards me and charged into the ditch. I took less than a second to piece the fragments together, turned, and dashed into the woods. Those people ran around my car and continued to chase me. They were all tall and looked heavier, so after a minute of sprinting, I lost them. Now I was in the middle of the woods and couldn't see where I was going. I didn't even know which direction was which. There were no sounds of people nearby, and I wandered aimlessly in the woods. I didn't want to return to the road while those people were still around, but I also didn't want to get completely lost, as that would mean the police couldn't help me. After just a few minutes, I heard the distant sound of police sirens to my left, and I followed the sound until I reached the road. There I could see a police car parked on the hilltop. I am checking my car, unable to find any trace of those people. I explained what happened. They wrote a report, but there was little follow-up, as they only described that nothing was stolen from my car. Although it was quite bold to say they would throw me into the back compartment, it is still unclear whether this was planned before or after the crash. Perhaps they made a mistake trying to cover it up, or everything went as they wished.